Hi my beautiful internet friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again. So today I'm going to be doing a Q&A and I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about me personally. I have a list full of questions. I am recording this one day after International Women's Day, but I made an announcement on my Instagram that I personally was declaring International Women's Day for the rest of the week. So it's International Women's Week. Originally, I was going to make a video about feminist myths busted, but that was honestly getting heavier than I wanted it to. And I feel like I'm gonna cover a lot of that heavy stuff on my Instagram, so I wanted to make a lighter video for today. And since I am a woman, I figured I would make this video about me. And that's how I'll celebrate International Women's Week. That's how we'll start off this celebration. All right, well, I guess without further ado, let's just get started. First question, can you introduce your pets? Yes, of course I can. Come here. This is Violet. Say hi, Violet. Her full name is Violetta. She was our firstborn. We also refer to her as Poopy Pants, right? This is our Poopy Pants. We think she is a Bichon Maltese mix, but every vet we've ever been to has looked at her and said, that doesn't sound right, but have been unable to tell us what they think she is. So we're just gonna go with a Bichon Maltese. This is Pickle, our second born. She is the biggest bitch in the family, other than me, of course. She hates everybody. We call her Mr. Pickle. We call her Pickle Monster. Huh? Who's a monster? Call her Monster. She wants to go. She hates everyone. That's fine. Everything's fine. And then lastly, this is my honey mellow Mike, my sweet angel. I don't want to really hold him on my clothes because, yeah, he'll shit on me. He's already started, but he's afraid of heights. So I guess I'll just hold him anyway. It's okay. We call him Melonious, Malocious. I call him my sweet fat baby. He was the third born. We love him very much. They're all over me now. And those are my babies. I love them. Okay, question number 2. How did I meet Miles? How did I meet Miles? Well, without being too specific, we were kind of both heading towards the tail end of our previous relationships. They were moving on, we were moving on. And then Miles and I officially met through a mutual friend who is no longer in our lives due to circumstances that do not need to be shared on the internet. And we have now been together for 3 years. So bottom line is we met through somebody who we don't talk to anymore. And we met while we were technically still in our past relationships. Question number 3. What are 3 bad habits you've never been able to kick? Well, I could think of 2. I'm sure I have plenty more, but I was trying to think of things that I've been doing for a really long time that I've been actively trying to kick and just can't. The first is nail biting. Even though I have gel nails and I've been getting gel nails for probably 3 years now, I still bite them. I don't bite them off like I used to before I had gel nails, but I still bite at the skin around my nails. My nails up close don't look very good because they're all bit up. And the other one is smoking cigarettes. Unfortunately, I smoke cigarettes. I am not pro-cigarette though. I'm severely anti-cigarette. The only reason I smoke at this point is because I'm addicted, not because I actually like smoking cigarettes. If you don't smoke cigarettes, don't start. Just, it's a nasty thing. We don't have to talk anymore about that. Question number 4. Wait, that would be 8. Question number 4. How did you get into makeup? It's actually a really long story. It starts with finding Christina Grimmie in middle school, and she was like my biggest inspiration. When I was younger, I wanted to be a famous singer, and because I was so obsessed, I would always Google singing tutorials on YouTube, and that's how I found Christina Grimmie. And for any of you who know her, she has that big poof hair. I immediately fell in love with her. I was obsessed with her. I wanted to be just like her. So I started trying to learn how to do my hair like hers. And because of that, I found my love for hair. Then I got really big into cosmetology. I always dyed my own hair. I planned on one day opening my own salon, and obviously I still do my own hair. But when I was probably 15 or 16, I started getting really into makeup. I think that was as a result of being in the cosmetology world. I just kind of gravitated towards that type of art. Makeup tutorials started popping up on my YouTube, on my Instagram, and I just got really into it and immediately took off. And then I realized I was better at makeup than hair, and I enjoyed it more. So I kind of like switched passions there. But obviously I still do both. And then as a result of me doing my own hair and makeup, I got really into modeling. So it all just kind of trickled down from finding somebody who I really admired and I really liked their hair, and that's how this all started. I'm 19 now, so that means that I've been doing makeup for probably 4 years, and I've been doing hair for not quite a decade, but coming pretty close to that. I guess while we're still on the topic of makeup, I'll ask question number 5, 6? I don't remember what number we're on. My favorite makeup brands. I get my makeup at the drugstore, at the grocery store. The only time I ever dare set foot in Sephora is if I've been given a gift card. I don't shop at name brand makeup places. I can't afford to do that. I live on my own with my fiance. I can't be buying name brand makeup. It's just not in my budget. Number 6, who are my inspirations in life? That's a really good question. I feel like I should make a list. In this video, I'm not going to get into all of the people that I know in my personal life because I have a lot of inspirations that I love very much that are in my personal life. I love you so much, all of you. But I will stick to people that are famous, that I've never spoken to, that I probably will never speak to, that inspire me, that you guys can maybe follow too. First person is Jenna Marbles. Love her so much. I found her when I was probably, yikes, way too young to be watching her. 11, 10, something like that. I don't know, right when she first started posting videos on YouTube, back when she still lived in Boston. And immediately I fell in love with her. She became my everything inspiration. I had pictures of her on my wall. I just wanted to be funny like her. I wanted to be just beautiful and funny like her. For some reason, I just didn't have a computer for a really, really long time. I think I moved out of my mother's house and I just didn't have a computer. So I stopped watching her. And then for Christmas, I got a computer again. And ever since then, I've been catching up on every single video that I missed in the last few years. So that's been awesome. I love you, Jenna. I love you, girl. Hit me up. By the way, these are in no particular order of like how much I love them or how they've inspired me. It's just whoever's coming to mind first. Second person I would say is Jordan Peterson. I've been listening to his lectures on YouTube a lot. He is an incredible intellectual. I definitely do not agree with everything that he has to say, but I will forever be grateful for the benefit that he has brought to my life. He has forced me to expand my brain in ways that I didn't even think was possible. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but I think the fact that I don't agree with so many of his points has actually been more beneficial to me because it's forced me to listen to somebody that I know is smart that I just don't agree with. That's given me a pretty interesting skill set, I think. And so I appreciate that a lot. Third person is Megan Crab, more commonly known as Body Positive Panda or Body Posi Panda on Instagram. She introduced body positivity into my life, which kind of saved my life. In a way, that's kind of corny, but I've suffered with many eating disorders throughout my life, and she finally gave me another narrative other than the same narrative I've been hearing for my whole life. And she just made a lot of things make sense to me. The knowledge that she's already given me is so irreplaceable and so memorable that I will be able to take it with me for the rest of my life. The next person I would say is Rachel Cargle. She is an activist, mostly centering her focuses on Black women. And as her page on Instagram has grown, she's ended up gaining mostly white women as followers. So the majority of her posts seem to be with the aim of helping white women understand and helping Black women feel solidarity. She has been an extremely impactful person in my anti-racism work and in learning about a different perspective and a different narrative that most white people probably never open up to hearing. And then lastly, along those same lines, I would say Aja Barber has been one of the most impactful people in my life. I actually found her from Rachel Carville's Instagram. She has a pretty large following now, but when I first started following her, she probably only had a few thousand followers. So she's been very accessible. She's been very willing to interact with her followers because she doesn't have such a huge fan base. So I've been able to speak with her one-on-one on multiple occasions, and every single time I talk to her, I leave the conversation feeling satisfied with the level of knowledge that I have attained and eager to exercise it in my daily life. So yeah, I would say those are my top 5 people right now. Question number 7, what is feminism? That's a pretty loaded question, and so I'm actually going to save that for the video that I make. Hi, honey. Up here, come on, come on, come on. Good girl. So I'm actually going to save that for the video that I make about feminism myths busted. Sorry, I couldn't get that sentence out there. Basically, I guess in short, feminism is the fight for equality. That is the most basic way that I can phrase that. And I guess all that I would say is that it is not about hating men. All it is the fight for equality. That's it. But if you would like to hear me talk more about that, I already took my notes for that video, so that will be coming soon. Question number 8, which way do you face in the shower? Away from the water, duh. You're fucking weird if you face towards the water. You know, doesn't it just get in your face? Question number 9, what is your day job? I am a residential home cleaner. I clean houses and apartments. I mainly scrub toilets. It's pretty cool. Question number 10. What music do I like? Rap. That's it. But not like radio rap. I don't listen to mumble rap. I don't listen to anything the kids are listening to these days. I should probably get Miles in here to ask what type of music do I listen to. Miles! You're not wearing shit. I need you to help me. I don't really know who's the people that you always play. You gotta come and tell everybody.
Wu-Tang, Big L, Eminem. Do I need a shirt?
No.
Rakim, Big L, The Notorious, Pac, Meth, Black Dot, Nas.
That's it?
Okay.
Alright. So that's what kind of music I listen to, along with like J. Cole and A$AP Rocky and Tyler the Creator and Chance the Rapper, Childish Gambino. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I listen to.
Oh, and Kendrick and Cole.
I got them
Oh.
all. Kendrick Lamar, I did forget them. Question 11, what are my biggest fears? Ooh. I have like 2 lists of biggest fears. I have my biggest fears that are immediate, and then I have my long-term biggest fears. So biggest fears that are immediate would be like spiders and maggots. And I don't just mean like, spider, I'm afraid. I mean like, see what just happened is my brain short-circuited, and that's what happens in real life. I'm like, I can't. And like, I don't even want to talk about it. Birds. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm fucking scared of birds. And then there is this, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on a second. Okay, I believe that it is pronounced trypophobia. Here's how it's spelled. Trypophobia, I think. It is the fear of clustered holes. Yes, you heard me correctly. The fear of clustered holes. So think like face pores, think like craters on the moon, think like, you know what? That's enough naming of things for today. That's enough of the immediate biggest fears. Let's move on to the long-term fears. First is the passage of time. That is actually probably my number one fear, period. That's just my biggest fear, is the passage of time. I go to sleep every single night, and as soon as my head hits the pillow, I am bombarded by the thought of, oh my God, I can't believe another day has just passed me by. Oh my God, I feel like I didn't even do anything. Oh my God, is this gonna happen for the rest of my life? I'm just gonna have days, and then they're gonna be over, and then I'm gonna go to sleep, and then I'm gonna wake up, and then I'm gonna have another day, and then it's gonna be over, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. And that's pretty much how my night goes. That's how I drift off into a slumber. Wouldn't recommend it. Other long-term fear. Now I feel like this is kind of cliche, but like the fear of never finding my thing, like my niche. Like yes, I have politics, yes I have hair, yes I have makeup, yes I have modeling. I have all these things, but I don't really have like my one thing that I am currently on a path to pursuing. And I think I'm gonna be starting college in the fall, so that's pretty cool. And I really think that that'll help. But until then, I still do kind of have this fear, like what if I never figure out like what I'm doing here, you know? I feel like everybody has that fear to a certain extent. I think that that kind of just goes hand in hand with the passage of time. Like everything is just moving too quickly and too slowly at the same time. And I've been feeling this way for, God, probably my whole life. Question number 12, do I think people can be friends with their exes? I mean, I feel like that's the type of question that varies from situation to situation. Like if your ex burnt your car up, maybe don't hit them up on Facebook. But you know, if you guys ended things on good terms, if you guys had a relatively okay relationship and you ended it on good terms, I mean, why not? I don't see a problem with that. I mean, the only time I would really see an issue with that is if you're dating somebody who has like really insecure emotional problems and is trying to control every aspect of your life. But in that case, that's more of an issue of who you are choosing to now date, more than that being an issue about you being friends with your ex, you know? Yeah, no, I don't see a problem with that, just like I don't see a problem with girls having boyfriends and boys having girlfriends. We're all fucking adults, you know? Question number 13, what are my biggest pet peeves? I could probably spend an entire video talking about just this, to be honest. I would say my number one biggest pet peeve that has probably been my pet peeve since, you know, like social studies class in 2nd grade is the fact that the majority of America still refers to Native Americans and indigenous people as Indians. That's like my number one, like I will correct you if you say Indians and you mean Native Americans. I will correct you every time. You could be a stranger walking past me in the supermarket, you could be in my family, I don't care. If you say Indians and you mean indigenous people, I'm going to correct you. It's my number one biggest pet peeve, probably in the world. I honestly have so many other pet peeves that, like I said, I'm just gonna save this for an entirely other video, and I'm gonna make one big video called Mariah's Pet Peeves. And that'll be that. But for this, I just wanted to get that one out there because seriously, that is my biggest pet peeve, period. Question 14, tips on how to feel better about yourself. I really like this question, and actually I'm going to make a video about this as well. It's gonna be like a body positive video, pretty much. But for right now, I'll still give you at least a couple things that you can do to start feeling better about yourself. I know you probably want a concrete list, like do this thing and then you'll feel better. But obviously it's not that simple. If it was that simple, then that wouldn't be such a common question and everybody would just love themselves already. If you know me, if you follow me on Instagram, if you are my friend, if you are close to me, you know that my mantra is unfollow anybody on social media that makes you feel bad about yourself, period, for any reason. Whether that is their looks, their body, their clothes, their lifestyle, the fact that they always seem happy, whatever the hell it is, whatever the situation is, if you are minding your own business, scrolling through your own social media feed and that person comes up and you immediately have any types of feeling of envy or shame or I wish I was like you, or just any feeling other than I am being educated right now, or this has improved my life, or I'm glad to be seeing this on my social media right now. Anything other than those feelings, delete the person. Just unfollow them. They're either gonna be too famous or popular to care, because most of the people that make us feel bad about ourselves are celebrities, clothing brands, things like that. Those people aren't gonna notice anyway. Unfollow them. If they're your friend or if there's somebody close to you, they should understand that you are putting yourself first and you're trying to do something for your own mental health. You cannot control your surroundings, but what I can control is my own social media. So I'm going to take my liberties to do so. So that's the biggest thing. That's probably the most important thing that I've done so far on my body positive journey. Unfollowing people that make me feel bad about myself. Because so many of us, myself included, use social media as a way to look at people that we aspire to. But just make sure that that doesn't get unhealthy. It's one thing to appreciate the value that somebody brings to your life. It's another thing to be kind of obsessed with looking just like them or being just like them. And social media makes all of us susceptible to that way of thinking, unfortunately. So you have to be deliberate in who you choose to follow. Most of us honestly look at social media every single day. Most of us look at it for a portion of the day. So you better be mindfully choosing who you are putting into your brain. And again, I am going to make a video about that specifically, but that is my one little tidbit of advice for this video. Question number 15. What would I do if I was born with a penis? The first thing I would do is take my ass outside and piss my name into a bank of snow. And if there is no snow on the ground, what I would do is piss my name into the cement or any other type of surface. That's what I would do, period. Question number 16, thoughts on separating art from the artist. A lot of you might fucking hate me for this, but I don't think that's possible. I don't think it's possible to separate the art from the artist. I think if you're listening or supporting somebody who is problematic, you are also trash. I honestly think people consider celebrities some sort of otherworldly magical creatures who don't apply to the same laws as us, because quite frankly, if people in our personal lives were doing the same things that these celebrities were doing, we would not be keeping them around. Yet these celebrities do these outrageous, unlawful things, and nobody cares. Everybody still supports them. The one stipulation I do have about that way of thinking is once the person is dead, I think it's a little bit different because they're dead, you know, so who really cares if you support them? But I think it's more of like the principle of not supporting somebody who is terrible or somebody who does terrible things, whether they're dead or alive. But if they have passed away already, I think it's less of a deal, honestly. I think it's less of a big deal. And I hope that doesn't sound invalidating to the survivors who might still be alive, but that's just how I feel. Maybe if it happened to me personally, I would feel differently, I don't know. But I think if a person is dead and you're listening to their music or you're purchasing their art or whatever, they're dead, who really cares? What you don't need to be doing though is praising them. That's what you don't need to be doing. Praising them as a person, making a shrine for them, dedicating songs to them, doing that type of thing, that's a bit much, okay? Just because a trash person dies doesn't make them less trash, it just makes them dead trash. So we don't need to pretend like these people were good people, but at the same time, if you wanna fucking buy their art, whatever. I guess what I'm saying is the only time I think it's possible to separate the art from the artist is when they've passed away already. Opinion subject to change. That's just where I'm at right now. Okay, question number 17. This is gonna be the last question and we will end it on an optimistic note. How about that? So this question is, what are my short-term and long-term goals? I can say right off the bat, my 2 short-term goals for this year are learn how to drive, which no, I still don't know how to drive, don't fucking judge me, and go to college in the fall. Those are the 2 things that I would like to do short-term. Long-term goals, I'm gonna go like 10 years in the future, decade in the future. Well, me and Miles will obviously have like 18 more pets. Just kidding. No, but seriously, we'll probably have a kid or 2. We will, of course, still have the pets that we already have. Hopefully, you know, I was gonna say hopefully that we'll move into a different house, but honestly, I like this house. So I'm trying to stay here for a minute. Hopefully, we will both be relatively settled in our careers, whatever that may be. Hopefully, that's enough time to be relatively settled in my career. I don't even know what my career is yet, so I don't know, we'll have to see. And my last long-term goal, again, within the next decade or so, is I wanna go somewhere not in America. I want to leave the country just for a little while, just to see what's out there. I have been to both Mexico and Canada, but I've never been off of this continent. And I was really, really young when I went to both Mexico and Canada. I didn't really get to experience anything. So yeah, I want to do that with Miles, of course, before we have kids. I want to go travel, but we don't really have that much money, so I don't know, but who knows? That's what I want to do. So you guys know me. If I fucking want something, it's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna happen. So we'll just have to see. Okay, well, I think that's it. Once again, next video that I have coming up is myths and misconceptions about feminism. That might not be the exact title. I'm gonna have to do some tweaking. I think I'm gonna make the video first and then I'm gonna name it. But it's gonna be something like that. I'm also gonna have a St. Patrick's Day makeup tutorial up because that is coming around in about a week. So stay tuned for all of this new content that I'm gonna be putting up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out videos as often as I possibly can. I talk about politics, I do makeup, I talk about myself, I got really cute pets, I got a pretty cool boyfriend. I do all this awesome stuff on my channel. You should subscribe. You should follow my social media, which I will link down in the description below. Song credits will be in the description below. Remember to like and comment, tell me what you think. If you have any more questions for me, leave them down below. Okay, subscribe!